Welcome to the Freedom Fighters Podcast. I'm your host, Mo Brooks, helping you walk in real freedom and leading others to do the same. Today is just not another episode. It's just not a title change or a name change for this podcast. It's a declaration, and it's the start of something deeper. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I am so excited how God is shifting this podcast from the Mo Brooks podcast to the Freedom Fighters podcast. All right, so why the name change? All right, why the name change? Listen, some of you have been with me from the beginning, since the start of the Mo Brooks podcast, with over I want to say 78, 80 episodes starting from 2018. And listen, I'm really grateful for you. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for liking and sharing, and the text messages, phone calls, and the emails. That love and support has meant the world to me. So thank you so much. But the Mo Brooks podcast, it served its purpose, y'all. It really did. And all good things, most good things must come to an end. And lately, God has begun to stir something in me bigger. Okay. So I start asking, okay, like, what if this podcast, what if it became a movement, a safe place, a place where, people broke free, and not just spiritually, but also emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, relationally. And that's where it hit me. Freedom fighters. Like, there's so many individuals, there's so many people, even systems that are bound. But guess what? We freedom fighters. We're going to fight for our freedom that Christ has designed for us to live in. All right, I'm getting juiced up already, y'all. So this is just not a podcast anymore. It's a place where people break chains and become the key for other people. That's what I'm here for. That's what you're here for. We're going to break our chains, and then we're going to be the key to unlock somebody else from their chains. All right. And this is the way I look at freedom. This is the way I'm defining freedom. All right. Because we're breaking the chains and we become the key. We are set free to set others free. Freedom isn't finished until it frees someone else. Alright, so in my definition of freedom, or however you would like to define freedom, you are not really free. I'm really not free unless I am attempting, I'm trying, and I'm actually freeing somebody else. Man, I could walk through some scriptures. We're going to do it. We're going to do it right here on the Freedom Fighters podcast as we talk about freedom, and we see how those who are free are helping to free other people. All right. And this is biblical. This is the heart of Jesus, right? In Luke 4, Jesus talks about his mission statement. He's reading from the scroll. He's reading from Isaiah 61. And he says, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me because he has anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty. Come on, somebody say freedom to captives. All right. So that's his mission statement. That's his heart. That's the kingdom of God. He just didn't come to save souls. He came to set people free. Y'all, I'm excited, y'all. Don't you want to be free? I don't know about you, but I want to be free. All right. So I've kind of coined something. I'm working on something, and it's called the liberation loop. And I want to share this with you. And if you're taking notes, I want to encourage you to take a note in your phone, text yourself to write this down real quick, to replay this liberation loop, because freedom, it just doesn't happen all at once. All right. And you even see that with Moses and the children of Israel, right? When they were under Pharaoh's rule, they were in bondage. They crossed the Red Sea. Did that mean they were totally free? No. God led them in the wilderness 40 years, right? Why did he lead them? It's a cliche, but it's true. Like, they escaped Egypt. They escaped bondage, but bondage in Egypt was still in them. So freedom doesn't just happen at once. Freedom doesn't mean if I'm not in prison or jail means I'm free. That's not the case. We got a whole bunch of people walking around with no chains on or handcuffs on, but are bound in their spirit, bound in their mind, bound in their spiritual walk, bound in legalism, bound in religion, bound in stinking thinking, bound in depression. You know what I'm saying? I get juiced up just thinking about it, y'all. So the liberation loop kind of gives us a process, okay, of what freedom looks like, and it moves in stages, okay, and that's why we call this the liberation loop, because freedom is a process that keeps cycling deeper. It's like an onion. You keep peeling it, and it's like layer after layer after layer. So freedom is a continual process that continues to go deeper and deeper and deeper. All right. So here are the 5 stages. Here are the 5 stages. The first stage is to face the bondage. That's right. Face the bondage. Become aware of what's really holding you back. That's important, because the worst thing in the world is to be bound and don't even know you're bound. It's to be enslaved to something. It's to be ruled by something. It's to be in chains and you don't even realize it. It's to be in prison and you don't even know you locked up. Is to be lost and you have no idea that you're lost. So the first thing is we got to face the bondage and become aware of what's really holding us back. What is holding you back? We got to name it. We got to search it, research it. We got to read it. We got to sit in the therapy chair. We got to do whatever we need to do to figure out what is holding us back. That's the liberation loop. That's stage number 1. All right, and remember, this is a continual cycle, because what you discovered yesterday, you might discover something totally new that's holding you back today. All right, that's why I love this thing. All right, stage number 2, you have to form a new identity. I love this. I love this. Once you realize what's holding you back, then you have to align your identity with God's truth, not your trauma. Because oftentimes the things that's holding us back is due to trauma. The bondage that we're in or that we've been through, guess what? It leaves this residue, and that residue that's left behind is called trauma. All right. I would like to make the case that the children of Israel was traumatized by slavery. I just like to think that the residue, even though they went through that Red Sea, even though they were free, physically free to go worship God, they dealt with some major trauma. They seen some things, that they experienced some things that's just not normal to see and to experience. And I would like to bet a whole lot of something that you've seen some things that's not normal to see. You have experienced some things that's not normal for you to experience. You've been through some things. You made it through those things. You even probably broke free from those things. But the residue of trauma has impacted your identity, has impacted how you see yourself, has impacted how you see other people in the world. And that's why stage number 2, you have to form a new identity. You got to get aligned with God's truth and not your trauma, not your trials. I was thinking of another 2. You know what I'm saying? Treachery. All right, here we go. All right. Number 3, stage number 3. You got to fight for your breakthrough. It's huge. You see, I squared up my shoulders. You know what I'm saying? I was ready to swing on the camera. All right. You got to fight for your breakthrough. You have to take bold, practical steps to walk in your freedom. That's right. Whatever the freedom principle is, whatever the action is, whatever the thought process is, you got to actually fight for your breakthrough. You got to fight for your freedom. Freedom does not come easy or without a fight. There's not too many people who got free by chilling. You got to fight for it. All right. Now, I want to be careful because I don't want to walk into works. Okay. I don't want to work like Jesus actually paid for your freedom. But there are some things practically that you can do to walk out that freedom. All right. Okay. And all this, we're going to dive into it deeper. I'm just giving you an intro to why I changed the name and what the Freedom Fighter podcast is all about. And if you rock with it, I'm going to ask that you subscribe, share, like, and do all those things because we're going to continue to fight for our freedom. I'm going to continue to fight for your freedom as I fight for my freedom. And as I become more free, guess what? My only mission in life is to help you become more free. All right. Stage number 4, fuel the freedom. Here we go. Fuel the freedom. Build systems of support and rhythms that sustain your freedom. Okay? Systems of support and rhythms that help you remain free. Because one of the other worst things in life is breaking free, getting free, and then returning back to bondage because it could not be sustained. And that's where your support system comes in. That's where your community comes in. That's where your encouragement comes in. That's where your systems come in. That's where your disciplines kick in. And so you don't return back to the bondage. All right. Ooh, I got some examples floating in my head, but I'm going to keep it moving, y'all. I got to stay on track. All right. This is a new podcast. I'm excited. Okay, here we go. And the last one. I think this is probably one of the most important ones. The last one is to free others. That's stage number 5 in the liberation loop, is to free others. We are multiplying freedom by helping someone else get free. We're multiplying freedom by helping someone else get free. Because again, if you're really not free, if you're not helping somebody else become free, I hang my hat on that. All right? Multiplying others. So now what can you expect? I'll share with you the liberation loop. Okay, we got into some of the whys of the podcast and why the shift. Okay, we're starting a movement here. Here's what you can expect from this new chapter of this podcast. Right off the bat, we're going to dive into a foundation series, 7 powerful episodes exploring spiritual, emotional, mental, relational, physical, financial, and collective freedom. So we're going to dive into 7 almost intros on each one of those sections. Okay, those will probably be, we might see some guests in those 7, but they'll probably be solo episodes. Then you also can expect honest interviews with people breaking free and building purpose. So we're going to bring guests on, some you know, some you may not know, and we're going to be talking about how and giving you practical tools on how to become free in these different areas. Okay, so you're going to see some explosive interviews. You're going to see teaching. You know, when I go preach, when I go teach, you're going to see clips. You're going to see full videos to help you further get free and just overall encourage you. We're going to be creating tools and coaches and a community to help you and support you in your journey of freedom. Is so important. Okay, so this podcast is for every believer, it's for every leader, it's for every person who wants more than just, you know what I'm saying, church as usual. All right, this is for the person who's healing in silence. It's for the person who's leading in private. It's for the person who's feeling stuck and still searching. It's for the person who feel bound and don't know what to do. It's for the person who's going through the religious activities, but it seems like those religious activities is not working. It's for the person who feels burnt out and don't know which way to go. It's for the person who's struggling with their family. It's for the person who's struggling with addiction or secretly and they don't know what to do and they're still serving and being counted on. It's for the person who's been counted out because for whatever reason you're full of shame and guilt and you don't know which way to go. It's for the person who needs to be free. Alright, so if this connects with you, listen, how can you join us? How can you support us? Share this episode, share all the episodes with someone you love. text it to them, email it to them, share it on social media with somebody you love, only if it resonates with you. Okay, subscribe, leave a review. That helps. Listen, every time you comment, every time you subscribe, every time you like, every time you share it, it helps the algorithm push it to more people, to new people, you know what I'm saying, who need to be free. All right, so thank you so much in advance to do that. You can support this show. Look at the links in the description. Okay, that's always there for you. We're going to be coming out with more free resources, paid resources. The whole nine is coming soon. And freedom is not passive, it's intentional. And you do not have to walk this journey alone. So this is the Freedom Fighters Podcast with your boy Mo Brooks, helping you to walk in real freedom and lead others to do the same. Continue to discover, keep developing, and deploying your God-given gifts, and never stop receiving God's love and giving it away. Love you. Until next time on the Freedom Fighters Podcast.